Alright guys, so I'm pretty sure over the past few years you guys have seen the American flag waving made out of 2x4s. I'm sure you've seen it. It's been absolutely everywhere. I've been tagging them. I've seen it. And now we're going to make it. But I'm not just going to make the regular square one. No. We're going to add a little twist to it. Let's get dusty! First things we're going to do is we're going to bring the 2x4s over to the chop saw. Cut them into manageable sections, and then we'll run them over to the table saw. We'll rip them down into 1 or 1 1/4 inch thick boards. I haven't decided yet. We'll see what happens when we get there. Alright, I've got 13 of these boards. I cut them at 1 1/4 thick. Just did. Now I've got 13. I'm going to line these up in a set of clamps. I don't know, big enough clamps. 1 second. Alright, finally, got them all in clamps and counted, because counting is the hard part. Get these leveled off on one side. Alright, we are now officially in clamps. But now we're not even, this is becoming a nightmare. Okay, now we're good. We are now in, Jesus, Louisa, this is the forever. Now that we're finally in clamps, I'm going to lay this out to where I want the waves to be. So I'm just going to kind of come up every 5 or so inches. Now these lines here are going to represent the high spots in the wave. And I'm going to get my angle grinder out. I'll show you. Alright, so I've got the rasp on my angle grinder. We're going to try to start power carving the waves into this material. It's going to make a giant mess. I'm going to put a mask on, and then these glasses will go right here too. But it's going to be a heck of a mess. So probably not much of a surprise to anybody, but I'm not much of a wood carver, so this has been going terribly. But I've got some grooves and stuff in here. I've tried to use the grinder with the flap disc on it to try and help, but now I think I got to go through and actually sand it to try to get some rolls to it, I guess. This is a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be. A lot dustier. Okay, so after about an hour of sanding, it's acceptable. I think it'll turn out really nice. But now is where I want to make things a little bit different than everyone else's. First things I want to do is I want to, it seems weird to say this, but I want to burn this thing. Because the idea is I want to do like a battle-hardened flag. Like, I want to make a flag that was like, hey, you can't tear me down. You can't break through. You know, one of those, like a real flag that's like a battle flag. You know what I'm saying? I want one that's got like pride behind it. That, you know, so we're gonna, first of all, I'm gonna burn this so I can get that grain to pop a little bit. I'll sand it a little bit more, and then we're gonna do something that may just have wasted the last few hours of my life trying to make it this far, but we're gonna see how that goes. This is where it's going to get very tricky, because what I want to do is I want to break up the pieces of the flag to give this kind of broken look. Like that's kind of what we're going to go for. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut from the back side just about 3/4 of the way through, put it in the vise, and then twist one way, and that'll give me this, and then the next one twist the other direction to give me the other side of the break. And then they all seem to want to break with this right here. So then I'll go through with the bandsaw and I'll trace this out. Hopefully this works and hopefully this looks good. If not, I'm wasting a lot of precious time. Now I have all of these marked on the back at different sections, so it should look like a staggered distress flag. Let's hope this works. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay. Not really what I was going for. Okay. Yeah, it's not breaking the way that it's supposed to be breaking. Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs! Yeah, it's breaking opposite direction on how it's supposed to be. Okay, now we'll try this way. It's not breaking there. I just screwed up 4 out of the 13. So I guess plan B, what I'll do is I'll just cut out a torn look on the bandsaw. I was really hoping for more of like a genuine break type look from wood, but I'm not getting it in the direction I need it to get. So okay, so this isn't exactly what I was going for, but I think it still looks cool. I still think you get the idea here. Kind of see how I try to make it look more distressed and jagged all throughout here. I think it's gonna look all right. So I do like how it looks right here, but I'm just gonna go through with the Dremel and just touch it up and kind of give it more of that broken look that I'm actually going for. I think this will help a long way. We probably have to use a couple different bits, and then we'll get this thing dialed. All right, so since I have to do this in 2 different stain colors, we're gonna do the blue first with the where we'll have the stars. What I want to do, and I have zero idea if this is actually gonna work or not, but because I have to have the blue match up to the red on some of these, I'm actually going to take a knife and just score right along that line. What I'm hoping to do is cut those wood fibers, therefore that I don't have bleeding between the 2 colors. Will this work? Is this an idea? Don't know. I'm just gonna try it. Might do nothing, but I'm gonna give it a go if I can kind of get it to work for me. Good enough. And now I'm gonna tape off the side that's gonna get the red. Stain is gonna try to bleed regardless of how I do it, so I'm hoping to keep it to a minimal doing it this way with that cutting of those fibers. Now here's gonna come, actually I probably should tape this net last, but okay. So now I'm gonna lay these stars on here, and I wanna do that. Let me get me centered up a little bit better. So I went over to my Cricut and I printed off this. So now I wanna lay all these stars on here, stain over them and pull them off. And I'm gonna hope there's not a ton of bleeding, but we shall see. A little bit of bleeding won't be too bad because it'll still kind of give it that distress look that I'm going for. Okay, I'm gonna take a couple measurements. I think that's a smart idea, so I can make sure this thing is actually kind of leveled. Center it right on that line, it should be good. Alright, so every sticker, every little tiny star has gotten itself rubbed in real well. I'm hoping that there's not an insane amount of bleeding, although more than likely there probably will be. I could go through and try that idea with an X-Acto knife, every star. That seems terrible. I think this will be okay. I've done this before on my bow holder flag. It was one of the first videos I did, and it does leave some bleeding. The blue that we're gonna be using is a worn navy. Let's pop her open, stir her up, and put some color on. And unlike paint, once stain is on, it's pretty much on. It's not gonna run or go crazy or anything like that. So I'm going to now just peel everything off so I can then hopefully do the red right now also. All right, now the stars came out, kind of what I figured. There was some bleeding, not terrible. Again, I think it does give it a distress look. And now we're gonna go on to red. We're gonna use Barn Red. Ooh, pretty. thing's a few hours to dry, and now comes the scary part of gluing it all together. Why is it scary? Because I gotta get my alignment right, and I want to avoid squeeze out on the front. Squeeze on the back, not a big deal. On the front is kind of the scary part. Now I did number all of the parts on the back. I drew a triangle on the back, which would tell me how to line everything up and together. But here we go. Part number 1. Probably could put these all in the right order and then glue them, maybe, possibly. So I'm gonna kind of try to keep the glue more towards the back area. I need enough to hold it together, but not enough to squeeze absolutely everywhere. 2. So far, so good. I need number 3. And might as well put number 4 here while we're at it. 5, 6, and 7. Hopefully that's not 9. Hopefully that is. Nope, that must be 9. Okay. That would have been terrible. 8. Now there's the 9. 10. 11's over here. 12. 13. Let's glue them all together. This thing is looking pretty sweet, if you ask me. Pretty sweet. Dude, this looks pretty sweet. I wish it was a little bit longer. Not gonna lie. Wish I would have been a little longer. Wish these would have been a little bit bigger. But here we are. So, gotta put one on the, couple more in the middle. Little squeeze out, not bad. All right, we're gonna leave this to dry, and then we'll come back and put a clear coat on it. I think out of everything, I wish the stars were bigger, because it really bugs me that they're not. So I think it looks pretty sweet. I wish I would have went maybe 6 inches wider, but you live and you learn. Now, when I had the idea to build this thing, I knew I wanted to give it to a veteran. I wanted to give it to somebody who have served our country. And then I thought maybe I could donate it to a VFW. I thought that'd be a great cause. There's a couple of content creators I thought it'd be really cool if I got in contact with them and donated to them. And then I thought I should probably give this to the veteran who has had the biggest impact in my life. And that would actually be my dad. So my dad actually is a Air Force veteran. Because of what he did for our country, I'm able to be here in this little shop that I built, building stuff and then putting it online for you guys to see. And literally without him, I wouldn't be here to do that. So happy Father's Day. Hope I put this video out after Father's Day, or it could be really weird. But anyways, thanks to all the men and women who have served our country. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you guys on the next project.